3 months. Leslie, 4 months. 2 days. Janet Butler, welcome to EXP. We're so glad to have you. 2 weeks. Wow. Sean, I'm so glad to see all these newer people to EXP. You guys made a great decision. Not that you know me, but I love it here. And while you guys are filling out that chat box, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Brenda Stone. I am in Alexandria, Virginia. I serve Northern Virginia area of EXP since October of 2017. So about 18 months or so. We've got Jill, Tracy, and Spike, and I think everybody's here, so we can get started if you guys are ready. I don't know. Last time I did this, we had chairs. We don't have chairs this week, so we're all gonna, our avatars will be tired by the end of the hour. Why don't we go down the line and just tell everyone a little bit about yourself, who you are, what your production is. Do you have a team? If you do, what does that look like? If you're a solo agent, how long you've been an agent, those kind of basic stats. Jill, let's start with you because you're closest to me.
Hi, Brenda. Hi, from Austin, Texas. I'm Austin agent Jill Liebernight here. Been with EXP for, but in the industry for 14 years. I'm so excited to be here with Spike and Tracy and Miss Brenda. Brenda, I moved down to Austin from Virginia, so I love and miss Virginia.
Not in this weather, though, right?
Well, you guys are having some heat. But anyway, I'm an individual agent. I flesh out my team with admin and marketing folks, and utilize my EXP mentors as showing assistance and backup help. But yeah. Thanks, everyone. It's good to be here. I love that we've got folks that have been here for 2 days and folks that have 27, 30 years in the industry. Exciting crowd.
Right? Isn't it great? It's so exciting. And it's weird that although we're all avatars and the people that have dialed in mobily are like stick figures, you look like the sign on going to the bathroom, where men or women, paper dolls. But I still feel a huge energy in this room, even though we're all virtual and avatars. So I think it's very cool. Tracy, why don't you go next?
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Tracy Gagney. I'm here in Western Massachusetts, outside of the Springfield area. I've been licensed for 15 years, though I really didn't start practicing real estate till about 4 years ago, when I started building my team and really seeing what was capable of being accomplished in this industry. So now we have a small team, a little baby team of there's 5 of us, and we have 4 admin support. We're probably going to close about 160 transactions this year, probably 25 to 27 million in volume. And my anniversary date is coming up August 1st. That'll be my 1 full year here at EXP. And I'll tell you, the reality of it is we've been able to accomplish so much more in this last year than I had in my, when I developed my team 4 years ago at our last brokerage. So I cannot wait to see what else we're going to be able to accomplish just with the systems and tools that are provided to us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We're having a great time.
And so can you just tell me again, how big is your team?
I'm the listing agent, though I am currently training my buyer's agents to start working with listings so that way they can have a well-rounded business. So there is myself, and then there is 3 full-time buyer's agents and 2 part-time, very, very part-time buyer's agents. Everybody is in the business less than a year. One of my buyer's agents capped 2 months ago, her first year in. We have our next one is going to be probably capping her first year in as well, and the others are on track to do the same. Once they can come full time, they'll have much greater success with that, and I expect them all to cap in once they're their first year.
And what kind of admin support do you have for this team?
I have a buyer transaction coordinator, and I have a listing transaction coordinator. I have a personal assistant, and I have a VA.
Wow, it's amazing. Okay, Spike, let's hear about you.
Hello, everybody. This is Spike. My wife Amy and I run our small team of 3 people. We essentially have a buyer's agent, and we did just hire an admin person last week. So I've been selling real estate for about 8 years. Been with EXP about 2.5 years, and it's really amazing. We love the company. We love pretty much everything about it. We're really excited to be here.
And where in Maryland are you?
We're in Frederick, Maryland. We focus our business in. We've sort of built a business around the surrounding 3,000 homes. So we kind of small area that we intensely market to, and just dominate a very small area.
So that leads into my next question, which is, how do you contribute your ICON success? And it sounds like what you're saying is you get a lot of it from farming.
Yeah, we farm a very small area. We sell about 40% of the homes in that small circle.
And how did you pick that circle?
We live in it. I'd
Oh.
like to give you a more eloquent answer, right?
No.
We're kind of lazy. We don't like to go too far. We did a lot of open houses in the beginning. We still do a lot of open houses. We probably sell about 30% of our listings through open houses. We do very little in the way of advertising. We just built a really good brand, and it seemed to make sense to me to build a great brand in a small area than build sort of a weaker brand in a very large area. So we just really intensely focus in on it, and we over time have become sort of the subject matter expert for that area. We like it. We can see our customer base or talk to our sphere of influence just by sitting at Starbucks and having a cup of coffee, and it really worked out well that way.
That's great. Yeah, that's where 80 is actually not a good thing for me, but I would say about 75 to 80% of my business comes from a farm, and we're trying to diversify because you can't put all your eggs in one basket. But I'm a big fan of that type of real estate model to get clients. Jill, what do you do for your business? Where's your business come from?
So I'm similar to Spike, but certainly farming is a big part of my my business. But I call it tribal farming, tribe farming, virtual farming. So I have old school geographic farms, but I also have tribes of organizations and associations and friends and colleagues and community folks that I support that contribute to my tribe business. And I teach tribe marketing. I'm EXP agent faculty here, and we'll be teaching my tribe farming techniques in the cloud in the coming month. But basically, I'm an ex-school teacher. So, Spike talked about, he started small, focusing on his neighborhood, his own community, and becoming the experts there. Well, I too started with my own neighborhood and the information and knowledge that I knew about my community, but I came at it from my teaching background. So I made sure that as I connected with my community, I was always providing information, facts, and knowledge, providing additional education. And I started with my neighborhood, and then I expanded out to many community organizations. So I like to consider myself sort of community-minded, a community-minded realtor that has grown my business through community service, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So somebody's asking more about your marketing. Do you know when you're teaching it?
So I've got my Farming with Soul on Tuesday. Now I have it on my calendar as 3 p.m. Central Time, Tuesday the 16th. I'm looking at my calendar. So I've got Farming with Soul, which is my farming curriculum that is a little bit more studying several different types of Farming with Soul, soft sell farming techniques. And then I have the 19th is my tribe farming. These are in July. The 19th is my tribe farming class. I guess that's 1 p.m. Pacific time in the cloud. So those are two classes that I'm teaching on farming next week. Whose sound is cut off.
Where in the cloud?
Oh, in the auditorium.
Well, I plan on being there. I'll be
Yay!
there. That's a great class to take, and I think I'm going to have my entire team be there with us as well.
Well, I personally think that tribe farming is sort of the new age. You know, we're part of a company that's leading into the new age of real estate, and I think that tribal farming, tribal marketing, tribe marketing is a new way of lead generation. It's connecting and serving people that have similar interests, that already have established trust and connections with you. It's the basic know, like, and
Fantastic. That'll be so much fun.
I don't know, something's going on with my audio, so I had to leave the room and come back. So hopefully it's working. One of the things that's really beneficial is when you have a geographical farm, any agent can look at that and say, "Oh, I'd like to work in there and start marketing." With the tribal one, it's very hard for anyone else to identify. So if your sphere you're marketing to is, say, doctors, for another agent to look at that and say, I'm going to break into that is very, very difficult. So it's that social farming or tribal farming is a great way to grow your business and have a little extra protection and uniqueness in it. Tracy, what do you do?
We do a little bit of everything. We're very involved in KV Core right now and driving our lead sources there, communicating and following up with them on a daily basis. So my agents are really trained to and encouraged to be in there and have conversations on a daily basis. They have minimum requirements that they have to have on a daily basis to keep those conversations moving ahead long term. So we drive everybody to, and we also do a lot of the tribe type of farming as well. We're now involved more with charity events and helping to promote those locally. We were doing a lot with local businesses, and I just thought that the charities could utilize that platform. We could utilize that platform with charities and spread the word and really help do some good locally through utilizing those connections and those relationships. And that's been really, really well received. And we just got a request the other day to do another golf tournament. So I'm looking forward to what that brings us this year and developing those relationships and being, the source of those charities locally to help them get the message out.
Yeah. And we love charities. It's inexpensive to promote. You're
Mhm.
community minded. You're really making a difference. You're getting a lot of attention for not really your real estate, but people really know if you care and you're invested in the community, then they trust you and want to. We're a big fan of the charity events as well. And it's ironic. I'll beg anybody for anything if it has to do with an event, but I'm a little more reluctant when it comes to my own business to say, who do you know it's going to buy or sell in the next 30, 60 days?
Yeah.
But if there's a dog or a child or something that needs help, I'm there knocking on doors.
And again, it goes back to being involved in the community and showing you truly do care about where you live and that you've got vested interest and you're doing what you can. And people they recognize that. They
Yeah,
recognize in you is that if you're the person that is truly there to help. And we want to be that resource as much as we can to as many people as we can.
absolutely. And just to go back, you said KV Core is where you do a lot of work. Are you doing that integrated with Facebook ads, or where's your landing pages and squeeze pages going?
Yeah, a lot of it is coming through our squeeze pages through KV Core into Facebook, Instagram. Not We're starting to utilize LinkedIn and Twitter a little bit, but our main focus is on Facebook and Instagram. And we have a very, 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 very small, less than $1,000 it'll spend.
A month or a year?
Yeah, no, a month.
Okay.
It's like
So,
$600. It's like $600 just so that way we can be a preferred agent there.
right, right. Perfect. Spike, we've got a lot of new agents in the room. So what's some advice you would give someone who's starting out, either new to EXP or new to real estate? Um, maybe some of the mistakes you made and learn from it. What do you have to say to them?
There are too many shiny nickels in real estate. Don't invest money in a bunch of trendy ways that you think are going to yield you a lot of success. You're self-employed. There's a lot of entrepreneurial poverty in this kind of poverty. Be very smart with your money. make great business decisions. Don't look for a trendy, shiny nickel that you're going to chase and spend $1,000 a month on something that's not going to work. I think the best way to build your business today, if I was a new realtor today, would be through Facebook and Instagram. I would be really active, at least an hour a day on Facebook and Instagram, making 5 comments a day on people's posts. I would be doing at least 50 likes a day, making 1 post a day, and probably 70% of my posts be personal, maybe 20, 30% would be real estate related. I think Facebook is free and all it takes is effort, and it's a great way to market yourself as a realtor today.
I agree. I use it to stalk my clients all the time because if they're going to have a baby or they got engaged, I'm on it. One of the things that we also do is take it beyond just Facebook. So if someone puts something on there, we actually will send a text or a phone call behind it. So it's not just clicking like, it's also a quick phone call that just says, hey, I see that, Joe graduated from high school. Congratulations. It's so exciting, to just bring it a little bit more personal, to not be so stuck in the virtual world.
We'll take a step further and steal that graduation picture, put on a send out card, and send it to them, and congratulate them on the graduation.
That's awesome. Awesome. Tracy, what do you have to say to the new people?
You totally broke up on me there, right there for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, what do you have to say to the new agents in the room?
I agree with Spike. There's so many shiny objects out there that it can be really overwhelming. I would pick just a couple of things I would pick like 3 things a week to focus on and use that as your lead generation system or plan until you can become more comfortable with the different things out there, and just take your time with that part of it. Learn your scripts, learn your dialogues, learn how to build rapport, learn body language, and then that will make it so much easier for those conversations to happen organically. And then once you start feeling more comfortable and confident in your abilities, then you can look at bringing in some of the paid stuff. But until then, Facebook works wonderfully, and just striking up conversations on a daily basis with people in there will bring you really far.
That's great. Jill, what about you? What kind of advice do you have for the newer agents?
I always tell my mentees, show up and participate. Be an active participant in your realtor community, whether that's with your local board or here within EXP. Show up to the classes, get to know what's going on, get to know the industry, master your contracts and your expertise of the market. But the more you show up and the more you participate in activities and events that are going on, the more you're going to know yourself. So that's the second part, is the better you know who you are and what talents you offer, the better you're going to be able to battle that. Sorry, I'm having a reverb of my speaking. Sorry. The better you're going to be able to battle what Spike and Tracy were talking about of spending money that you don't need to be spending. And the third thing that I would say is Spike and Tracy talked about Facebook, and that the social media is so valuable, but the more you can lean into video. I built my business through video. You can visit me, Austin Agent Jill, on YouTube, my YouTube channel. But the more comfortable you can get turning on that Facebook Live, making a video, even if it's pre-recorded and you uploading, but the more you can use video to educate and inform and serve your community, the more people are going the more seeds you're going to plant to lead generate, to build a referral base. So those are my 3 things: show up, know who you are, lean into video.
So really quick, let's talk a little bit about the video. So you make a video, let's see, not a live one, but you've pre-recorded a video. What are you doing? You're putting on your YouTube channel, and then how are you dispersing that to get people to consume it?
Okay, so I'm also teaching. I teach a video class in the cloud as well. I don't know. I think my next one is the first week in August, but I mean, I teach a lot of video.
Well, there you go. When's that?
I have a background in theater. I'm married to a filmmaker, so I mean, I know that my take is more, encouraging and helping agents to get more comfortable in front of the camera. There are some great agents here that are masters at getting the video out. Jeremy Knight, Brian and Tisha White talk a lot about that. But I think the key is with videos, start with things that you know. Start with what you're comfortable with. And when I'm working with new agents, it's as little as, okay, maybe you're not showing a lot of homes right now to buyers, but go on buyer tours and then take a little video of like, I'm out here at a great new home community and I wanted to show you the highlights of some of the top features at the D.R. Horton community here in Buda. I'm just, giving a quick little script. And then you share that with your sphere on Facebook. And there's you don't really have to, I think, for a new agent, as you're starting out in video, you don't really have to push a lot of marketing and advertising with video. Start with your sphere, sorry. And then, once you get more comfortable and confident and your videos get more extensive, then you can kind of lean into getting it all out there. But just helping your sphere understand that you're in real estate, you're out and about, you know what you're doing, you know the market is going to open up doors for you. Is that helpful, Brenda?
Yep. That's great. And they're asking when your class is, the video one.
Okay, let me look on the calendar. The video class, I think I'll be doing it once a month. So if you miss the next one, I'll be doing it once a month. It's the second. It's the Video Secrets class, Friday, August 2nd, 3 to 4 Central Time, 1 to 2 Pacific Time. So I just go over sort of like tips on how to approach video. I'll talk a little bit about equipment and systems and how to upload, and but mostly it's about how do I start this thing? It's very terrifying if you don't have experience or background in getting in front of a camera or presenting. So I'm going to give everyone my top tips and secrets. I was an acting coach for decades, a previous high school drama teacher, but I've coached hundreds of high school students on how to prepare and get comfortable in front of the camera for auditions. So I'm bringing some of that expertise for realtors.
That's awesome. That's so great. So we'll all be in that class, and there is a calendar of daily training and that you guys can access to see what's available when and get on that. Spike, what's your number one priority every single day? What do you have to do every day to ensure that you're an icon and your business is hitting its goals?
We
Spike, we can't hear you.
No, Spike, we can't hear Spike.
So Spike, it might be, I had to leave the room and I went back to the Welcome Center and then popped back in the auditorium. So that might help you. In the meantime, why don't we get Tracy? What do you do every single day that is your top priority and gets you to your goals?
I listen to podcasts, educational podcasts every single day. I listen to all the leaders in the industry and, their trainings and their teachings and their coaching. And that helps me set my mind straight so that way I can then, in fact, take my day on and help my agents take it too. And, constantly just learning more, coming from, the position of wanting to do and be better and implementing that on a daily basis.
So they're asking which podcast you listen to.
I listen to right now I'm going through Tom Ferry's coaching courses, and I listen to let me pull them up. I listen to a lot of Mike Wall for Agent Attraction. I listen to Agent Revolution, Power Agent Podcast, Build Your Network, Club Wealth. I listen to a lot of Club Wealth. Real estate marketing dudes, they're really funny. there's a bunch of them, and there's so many to choose from that it can be kind of overwhelming. I would suggest just listening to a couple and finding those that resonate with you, because those are the ones that you're going to feel more comfortable with implementing the things that they're suggesting. They're going to be communicating with you in the way that you like to be communicated with, and how you're going to communicate with others.
Great. So they're asking if you could repeat the one that was for agent attraction.
Mike Wall, he's an EXP agent. He does agent. Mike is, hold on. You know what I can do is I can type the list in if you would like me to.
That would be great. Gina
Okay.
would love that. And then the other question I have is, do you time block for this, or do you grab them when you're in your car? When do you listen to these?
All right, so I have a very funny schedule, and what I do in the morning is I actually leave my house and I go for a drive and I travel around some of the prettiest areas I see, and I listen to my podcast while I'm doing that. So that way I'm not distracted at home by other things I could be doing, including laundry, and I'm just kind of looking at things that are pretty for me to see while I'm absorbing what their content is.
And that's before you hit the office or do anything.
Oh yeah, can be like as early like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm out there 6, 7 o'clock. All depends when I wake up. It's the first thing I do. I'm putting a lot of miles on my car though, so I really have to find something new to replace that with, and I'm trying to figure out what that's going to be. Maybe it's going to be sitting out on my deck looking over the river, but I'm still in this habit that that's what I do, and it's what I've been doing for the last year. So I enjoy it, but it's just killing my car.
Yeah, I have a friend who goes to like the swankiest hotels, like the Four Seasons and the Ritz, and sits in their like loungy areas and works virtually from
Yeah,
there because it's so lush and like upscale.
yeah.
But it motivates them.
Yeah, I mean, you go where you're most comfortable, and that's where you're going to feel the best. And sometimes it's hard to get going in the morning, so you want to start that off right by doing something that's just going to make you feel good.
Yay, Spike's back. Hi, Spike. Can you hear us?
I can. Sorry, my mic stopped working, so I logged out and came back in.
I know. I had the same thing. So why don't you go ahead and tell us again, what's the one thing, the number one priority every day that you have to do in order to hit your goals?
Well, we definitely have our morning routine down, and we set up our morning right. I mean, we have a little personal time morning, and then we roll into business at the exact same time every day. And it's really kind of scripted the morning how we operate. We're very planned out. Our whole day is planned out. Actually, we time block all our hours. We have appointments set up. An appointment's in green if it makes money. If it's red, it can't be changed. If it's yellow, it can be changed on our calendar. And it's really quite organized. Nothing happens by chance, or nothing's an emergency in our world. We're not brain surgeons, right? So nobody's going to die. So we're very planned out. We sell about $30 million a year in real estate with 3 people, and we do it by just having great organization.
So you said every day you start at the same time. What time is that?
So my wife and I work together. She gets up around 5 a.m. every day, and I get up around 6:45. And we don't really start working till about 8. So we don't look at our cell phones. We don't. We have a little personal time in the morning and get ourselves organized, and then we start working at the same time.
And then is the first thing you do at work, is it time block for something specific?
So yeah, first thing we do is just kind of go through our emails and just see what kind of came up over the night, and our calendar is all set. So like if I look at Monday, for example, I have a meeting at 8:30, 10. I have a meeting at 8:30, 9:15, 10, and 11:30. And I have a closing at 1, and that's already blocked in place, right? So we'll start working around 8, and we'll be at our 8:30 meeting, which is only a couple miles away because we don't go far. And we're just super organized. The most important thing I would say to people is make sure you time block. So even if you don't have an appointment and you're going to do things, what are you going to do to fill your time? So if you're going to call your KB Core leads, or you're going to reach out to your friends and family or real estate friends, or be on Facebook, block that in your calendar so you do it. if it's going to be working out, if you're going to work out with a trainer, put it on a calendar so you make it so it happens. And don't be afraid to date your calendar. If it's not working, change it. But you should have, once you're in business for 6 months, you should really have a really good calendar that works for you, and everything should be planned out in it.
Are you following the Miracle? Is it called the Miracle Morning?
Yeah, so we do our own version of that. We've read the book. We've been to his presentations. We hired Hank Avick as a coach probably a year and a half ago, and really Hank has we follow more his philosophies on things as far as planning our day and being really purposeful with how to build our business through social media.
Okay, remind me, because I'm reading it right now again because I'm not implementing it well. Remind me who wrote Miracle Morning.
I'm 54 years old, and I'm just Elrod.
That's it. Yes,
Hal Elrod.
So for those in the audience who are new, it's a good book. For me, honestly, I am a night owl, and if left to my own devices, will go to bed between 2 and 4. I typically get up at 10. So it's a big struggle for me to try to shift my schedule and implement these practices. But that's what I'm struggling going through, because in order to reach your goals, you have to, we have big goals. We have to change something if we're not getting there. So that's a good place to start. Hal does a great coaching as our system, and then Hank is really, really good as well. We've got a lot of EXP agents to do that. Rosanna, you're asking about how to create a group of EXP agents to work with. I'm not sure if you're asking about building a team or just kind of getting a loose group together to work with. So if you want to ask your question, we'll see who wants to jump in and answer it. You're going to have to unmute your mic, Rosanna. Martha, Spike follows Hank Avink. It's Avink, I believe. Is that correct, Spike?
Correct.
I'm sure you can Google him. All right. Well, I don't hear Rosanna, so let's move on.
I'm here.
Oh, good. What's your question about the EXP?
So how do you create a small group of agents to work with as a new EXP agent?
Are you asking in terms of you want some people to collaborate with, or you want to build a team?
I'm not sure that I want to build a team since I'm a newbie, but I'd like to join other EXP agents and maybe work together, just like what the other speakers were saying. They work with 1 or 2 agents to build a group to help each other out.
Oh, okay. So the agents on
on
the panel have built their own team. So why don't Tracy? Do you have any advice?
Workplace. Workplace is so full of so many agents who are just so willing to share and collaborate and have conversations and build relationships. There's so many different groups. Just spending time in workplace, you're going to start to really, get to know people within EXP. I actually am on Workplace more than I'm on Facebook now, because there's just so many interesting things and that I can learn from, and there's so many great people that I'm in conversation with now just by asking simple questions or by being involved with some of their questions. I think that would be a great resource for you.
Yeah, and when I work with my EXP mentees, I'm an EXP mentor. I always say definitely utilize Workplace, but reach out to other new agents. New EXP agents should always be collaborating and meeting on a regular basis with other new EXP agents in their area. If there isn't, then join some EXP groups in Workplace, new agent EXP work groups, connect on Power Girls or we have hundreds of EXP groups in Workplace. And then I always say, post a little video in your local state EXP workplace group, introducing yourself and letting ICON agents or experienced agents or teams know that you're available to hold open houses, that you're available for extra showing support or vacation support, because agents like myself, individual agents like myself, are always looking for additional agent support and help at vacation time, when there's overflow business. I don't work leases, but so I'm always looking for agents that are interested in working leases that I can pass along a lead to. So those are just some of my tips.
Perfect. And if you
Thank you.
don't
That
know,
sounds good.
where are you located?
San
Roseanne?
Diego?
Okay. So I would look in San Diego. I know a lot of times I just go to exprealty.com and go find an agent and put it in town. But you probably have a local group as well on Facebook. Go in there, and that's what I do. I have listings. We can't hold them all open, and I go into those state groups or local groups and say, hey, I've got open houses, and I love and appreciate agents that reach out to me and send me emails and say, hey, if you ever have anything, I'd love to help. They're my go-to people. If I've got leads that we can't handle, I pass them down the line. So put yourself out there, introduce yourself either virtually or in reality. If these people are working, or, if they have an open house, go introduce yourself in real life, and get to know them, build these relationships. And, as they were saying on the panel, everybody I've ever met at EXP is so giving and open. So you go, oh my gosh, I have my first listing presentation. I'm not sure what to do. There's actually a group just for listing presentations, and we all uploaded our personal listing presentations. So everything at EXP, I think there's a group for. They were saying that there's one for new agents that have been licensed for a year. I think Chandra was saying that. And then also, if you guys want to do that Miracle Mornings, there's a book club there, the Go Getter book club, that's doing that right now as well. So we're definitely here to support each other. Spike, what is your daily, like your lead gen look like? Because none of us are going to get anywhere in terms of reaching our goals or have any kind of production or commission if we're not lead generating. So what does that look like for you and your team?
So we are, one of the things we've learned is that to have a great net life, at the end of the day, it's all about net life, right? Net income and net time off. Our business, we're really good as far as staying in contact with our friends and family and all of our real estate friends. We spend enough on Zillow just to be Premier Agents for free because we're grandfathered in, and we spend a little bit generating some leads into KV Core. But really, our phone just rings. Because we have a great name in a small area, our phone just rings up, kind of not off the hook, but at a good pace. So for us, it's just being good, being really visible in the marketplace. We employ a concept called social currency. Ryan Dicey wrote a really good book on it, where people know we're realtors, but we don't throw up real estate on them. We don't post stuff saying how great we are. We just kind of, post stuff so people understand, like they feel like they know us, they understand us, they trust us. And look, we're successful in real estate too. So if you need anything real estate wise, reach out to us.
That's great. Can you type in the name of that book in the chat for everyone? Tracy, what about you? What does your lead gen look like?
Our lead gen is, again, every morning we have our team meeting, and then we go directly into our lead gen. Sometimes we'll do it on the phone together, so that way we can just build the momentum. And sometimes they will, have scheduling conflicts, so they'll be doing it on their own. But it's really right through KV Core. We spend a lot of time in there just nurturing and following up and starting conversations. And that's based upon, who we've put in there through, our posts, or through our sphere, or through our past clients, or, for whatever program that we're affiliated with. We just, go through and just keep those conversations.
How are you having these conversations? Are you calling them? Are you texting, messaging?
Calling and texting. We've created follow-up plans for many different. We've created many different follow-up plans within KV Core for very specific type of follow-up. So those are running behind the scenes, but quick simple texts or just a quick simple phone call. A lot of times we will, look on Facebook or Instagram or wherever their social media platform is and see what they've been up to, and then put a call in and just kind of see how they're doing or things. Yeah, to let them know that we saw the picture on Facebook and their baby's adorable or their new puppy's adorable, and just really it's the nurture. We feel it's truly the nurture, and the long-term nurture, and that's really why the base of our business is really through referral, is because of how we approach our potential clients or our past clients or our sphere is.
And where are you putting these ads for your KV Core?
Just basically on Facebook on our business page, or we will sometime. We just started using the Instagram boosting option, and we've been seeing some pretty good results with that, though I'm not the one to really answer how that really works. I have somebody that's doing it for us, but we're exploring that right now. And so Instagram and Facebook is our main focus.
Got it. Jill, what do you do for lead gen, and what do you recommend for the newer agents and experienced agents who may be in a rut?
So I always start with reminding myself, what kind of business I am. I'm a referral-based and community service business. So the question every day is really, what am I doing to support my clients, my sphere, and my community? So I don't have traditional lead gen, like a 2-hour block where I'm calling. I have more marketing plans and community service support plans that I'm always inching forward. So at the end of every year, I'm always looking back and analyzing where I get my business. And I think every experienced or new agent should be looking at where the leads are coming from. So when you set up your plans for the following year, you can make sure that you're focusing on the right energy. So because I do a lot of teaching and I support my communities, I'm always scheduling out multiple workshops and education series and community events that I'm participating with or serving on committees or chairs. So it's often inching forward to make sure that there is a balanced out schedule throughout the year of Jill time with her community. And all of my clients also feel touch points, whether that's just, I do time block. I've allowed it to get a little too extensive these days, but I do consider my Facebook time business time, where I'm going through and clicking people's reposts. I'm just staying top of mind with my clients every day.
I think that's the key. I mean, people need to know you're in real estate. You don't have to, as Spike said, shove it down your throat, but they need to know you're a realtor, and they need to, the first thing that they think of when they hear the word realtor, buyer, sell house, is you. And that's, I think, what all of our goals is to be top of mind. And it seems like we all kind of have in common to do it through community as opposed to billboards or door knocking or that kind of thing. Not that they don't work, but especially when you're newer, you don't have those kind of budgets for that kind of activity.
Yeah,
Do you guys
Brenda, can I
goal
add one
plan?
thing to
Oh,
that real
sure,
quick?
absolutely.
Jill, that was a perfect answer. A lot of people, I think, because they're in real estate and they make one Facebook post, they think all their friends think about them as a realtor. And you'd be amazed at how people don't remember that you're in real estate or you're successful. And just by staying top of mind, like Jill said, you'll get probably 20 to 30 transactions a year, and maybe as much as 30 or 40. And that is just so key. It's just stay top of mind with people without throwing up on them.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think there's a lot of little things you can do. Like the first time you go to closing with a client, your client is at the happiest moment right then and there. Grab a quick testimonial video. If they're not comfortable with being in video, make sure you send them the Zillow link so that they can give you a review. Everybody today is so Amazon based, where we buy everything based on review. So you want to boost those 5-star reviews on Facebook and Zillow and that kind of thing. And post that. It's, what do they say? Show, don't tell. So it means a lot more if, other people are saying great things about you than you saying them about yourself and your own business.
Yes, that's the key, and I also push and teach storytelling. I mean, we're getting more and more distracted as a society. So Spike is right. Just posting one time on Facebook or Instagram, any social media, is not going to be enough. You're going to have to continue to tell the story over and over again. And when you focus on the story and when you hone in and understand your narrative and your personal story as it relates to how you serve your community, the easier it's going to get. And you be persistent with it. You might have to plant these seeds several times. And I was just reminded this past month how important it is to be really, really specific with that story and specific with the message that you're trying to get out there. Because if you're not, people are going to misinterpret because they're just glancing at stuff on social media.
I agree. And I think that goes the same for agent attraction. You tell someone and they're not responsive, you don't walk away from that conversation. It could be 5 years later that they go, okay, I'm ready. Um, so I think lead gen for business as well as lead gen for agent attraction has very similar paths.
Absolutely.
If I may share something, you guys,
Sure.
one of the things that I'm challenging my team to do this week is to actually, because my team, we don't do a lot of video. I'm the first to admit that we're lacking in that and that we're behind the 8 ball on that. So what my challenge to my team is coming up this week is for them to walk their audience, their Facebook audience or their Instagram audience through the entire transaction. So I'm going to challenge them when they are sitting with a buyer to have a consultation, that they do a short little video and ask permission of the buyer to introduce them to the process. And then when they get to when they're actually going to go show a property, I want them to do a video of touring the property. And then when they actually submit an offer, I want them to do a video of submitting an offer or the process thereof. And then when they go to the inspections, the same thing throughout the entire process. So that way they have a little collage of what the process looks like. And it's going to, and my hope is it gets them a little bit more comfortable with video. It's out to their sphere. Because again, my agents are all brand new too. So making sure that their sphere within the social platforms know that they are our real estate agents is really important. So I'm hoping that these little pieces puts the puzzle together, keeps them in front of their spheres, and engages them with some of the content they're putting out there.
Ooh, Tracy, Teacher Jill wants to throw something in here, and for Brenda and Spike and everyone here. Okay, so when it comes to video and storytelling, focus on the what and the why. So Tracy, that is fantastic. Like, you're focusing on the what. Help your readers understand the story of the what that we do. But if everyone can also be constantly journaling and meditating and daydreaming and thinking about the why, there's so many little stories that you can be telling about the why. And was it last year or 2 years ago, one of my videos that answered the why won one of the EXP video awards. But if it's on my YouTube channel, it was a random Facebook post that I just made a Facebook Live video after a closing where the why, one of our many whys kind of emerged, and I wept and cried, and I didn't have any makeup on, and I was so embarrassed, but it ended up being a really compelling story and my most watched video. So go see it. But everyone, constantly be thinking about your why, your what and your why. Those are your greatest resources and directions with video and storytelling. Sorry, had to jump.
No, it's great.
That's
And
fantastic.
Iris is asking, do you guys post the same material in both your personal and your business page?
No, we're
No.
actually.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, like in Texas, like, I'm talking about Facebook. I'll be honest, I'm not really skilled at Instagram. Some little millennial's going to have to teach it to me because I just can't. I can't go there. I try. But on Facebook, I've got a business page and a personal page, and I use them very differently. Like, I do more of the classic humble bragging on my personal page, and on my business page, it's more cut and dry promoting of listings, promoting and congratulations from sales, because there's more disclosures that have to be. If I'm talking a lot about my real estate on my personal page, I got to have my information I got to have a lot of documents, and I have them there, but I do a lot of sharing. So I'll post something on my Agent Jill team business page, and then I'll share it, but I'll kind of write a personal little message that's not really pushy on my personal page to share. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What about you, Tracy? What do you do?
I try to keep them separate. I will share my business page to my personal page though, but not in a way that is taking the human out of myself. I want my personal page to show my family and my friends and the fun things that we're doing. So I sprinkle some business in there like once or twice a week, just to remind them of who we are and what we do. But my business page is strictly business. Our listings are, our happy buyers, our happy sellers, what we for challenges, how we overcame them. Just showing like a day in the life of the real estate agent sometimes, and a lot of memes. We do a lot of memes that they have the most interaction and they generate the most likes and comments and shares, which, of course is one of the most challenging things on your business page. So, if you can sprinkle some fun in there with some challenges in there, with some accolades in there, with some wins in there, you try to just keep it pretty well rounded.
Yeah, we do a lot of which do you like, or this kitchen or that, or country versus mountain,
Yeah. Ask the
skis and all that.
questions. Yeah.
Spike, what about you? What do you do with your Facebook, business and personal?
So we approach our personal page as our business page and as our CRM. We do very little on the business page because with Facebook's algorithm, very few people that like your business page see what you post unless you pay, maybe as low as 5%. So we kind of use our personal page as our business page, but we make sure we post enough personal content on there not to go to Facebook jail, or or people feel like they're that they're being too much real estate on them.
Right.
Facebook is really smart, their algorithm, and if you're consistent with your posting, all your friends will see your stuff. Like, it's amazing that I didn't realize that when you post on your personal page, if you don't post with consistency, then all your friends don't see your stuff that you post. If you're consistent with it, Facebook will really consider you to be more of a contributor, and all your friends will see your stuff, and your likes and your comments will go up tremendously if you're consistent with it.
Yeah, it's crazy to keep, and they change it all the time. So, you got to stay on your toes. If you guys have questions, we've got a few minutes left in the chat box. We'll get to them. I'm going to do really quick. Tell me about your goal planning. Do you have a specific time of the year, and what are the metrics that your goals are looking for or trying to attain? Spike, why don't you go?
Our goals are around financial. We have very specific goals of what we want our 1099 to be like, what our expenses are going to be, and what our profits are going to be, and how we're going to allocate those profits. We take our profits first. A great book is by Mike Michalowicz's Profit First. So when revenue comes into our company, we instantly put 25% in our IRA. We put a certain amount in payroll. We put a certain amount in profit. We put a certain amount in operating expenses. And this way, the money is not just sitting there. I have a really good friend who's a great realtor. He makes about $1 million a year selling real estate, and he's always behind his taxes because he puts about 50% of his income in his tax account, but because he knows it's overfunded, he spends it on stuff. And we're really good about allocating our money. So when tax time comes, taxes are paid. We pay about 45% income tax in our tax bracket, but with our write-offs, we really pay about 17% income tax. We just put 17% in that tax account of every dollar that comes through.
So do you have a specific time of the year that you reevaluate?
So I look at my P&L every month, and so we're constantly reviewing it. It's probably the most important part of running our business, our profit and loss statement.
Absolutely. You can't do this if you're broke. I mean, and there's a lot of agents out there who, the 1099 is a great number, but the expenses outweigh that. And in the end, they're making, $10,000 a year. And that's very challenging to stay in business. Tracy, what about you?
All right. So our goal setting is based upon we're growing. So our goals have changed. And right now, my goals are to help my agents hit their goals. It's not so much of a team goal. I know if I help them hit their goals, then we're going to hit our goals. So it's really just in supporting in them and what they need and coaching them through the phases of their real estate career. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is, you know, just working on really just making sure that everybody has the tools and our time, that they can in fact have successful businesses.
Do you sit down as a team and everyone establishes their goals that then creates the bigger team goal?
Like I said, I don't really have a team goal. I have my own personal goals, and my husband he's my lead buyer's agent. He has his own personal goals, and our team and our agents have their own personal goals, which we push them. You know, when they started, they were like, if they did 12 transactions, they were going to be happy for the year. And, you know, so we've got my Nicole, who started off there, is now closing out like on 30 plus her first year. So, you know, if we can help them see the bigger picture and see that they can have bigger lives, then our goal gets bigger. But it's really not until we really know how they're going to interact and proceed that we can really break down what that's going to look like. So I don't really have an actual goal, and I know that goes against everything that everybody's taught. And I feel awful saying it, but again, it's really just helping them hit their goals. And if I can
Yep.
do that,
And that's a
then that's our goal.
fundamental with team building. We always say that, you know, if you help your team hit theirs, you'll get yours. What do you think, Jill? What do you do with your team and goals in your personal business?
So since I joined EXP and the ICON program, you know, I, like Tracy, I love the authenticity. You know, my annual goal is meeting ICON, because I'll be honest, there's no other program like it in the country at any brokerage, like the benefits and the collaboration that we get as a part of the ICON program. So November is typically my time of the year when I'm really looking back. It's not that things are dramatically slow during November, but I typically have a little bit more data to analyze the previous year and to start mapping out my marketing goals for the following year. But right now I'm in a little bit of transition. I was honest about it at the EXP shareholder panel. You know, 14 years I've been, you know, working hard and not always working smart. And so I'm really trying to get very, very specific and to create before I consume. So I'm trying to take care of my health, take care of my family, keep my creative spirit fresh so that I can serve my community and serve my business. So the goal setting is not necessarily a monthly thing, looking at statements, but it's you know, end of year looking back, where can I be more efficient and where can I make improvements and how am I serving my community?
Well, we are a little bit over, but we started late, so I think we've rounded out an hour just exactly in time. So I want to thank all of you guys for being here. It was a great panel. You guys gave a lot of nuggets for the audience. Thank you, everyone in the audience, for joining us. We wouldn't be here if you weren't here to listen to us. And feel free to reach out to anyone on the panel in Workplace, either through a message or find them in the world to ask a question if you have anything that you know you kind of think about and it wasn't quite answered, or you have more questions. Thanks,
I learned so
Spike
much from
and Jill
everyone
and Tracy
tonight.
Sure.
Today. Thank you all so much. And Icons, I hope to see you in August in Austin at our iconic conversation, our regional event. So
Yeah, you have a very small commute.
I have a very small commute, but we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of surprises. So get on Icons, get on the Icon page. We've got lots of details, and I hope to see you there.
Yeah. And I hope to see everybody in the audience in Vegas, because it's going to be a great time. So register today, and we'll see you next Friday. So thanks everyone for coming. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Tracy.
Bye.
Thanks, Spike.